Fourth from the red. Get to the starters as well. We are underway. Third game of the afternoon. For Cnx, it'll be Bellinger, Jay, Lewis, Calhoun. And also TS, and for New Force, it'll be Smith, Lee, Logan, Stanford, and Mofapan, the Frenchman, Layad. Four 10-minute quarters. Smith off the mark with the 3, and we're scoreless early on in this one. Cnx. Calhoun gives it up. It'll clear out. Off the glass. And a tough shot. Bellinger. Almost stolen it away. An easy find and look inside. So quick 4-0 lead. And that's Jay, the recipient, right off the glass. 4-0. Minute plus in, first quarter, Cnx on top of New Force. Logan drawing the contact, he'll go to the line. That's going to go the other way. That's a turnover and a travel. Nice soft touch, Calhoun. Comes in averaging 13. Logan with a nice 3 from the corner. And they try to trap and double. And they want the clear out, and they try to go back inside. Calhoun. Contested shot and coming back coast to coast the other way and drawing a contact. Stanford going to the line. Robert Stanford averaging 28 points and 10 rebounds. Drops home to second. Under 5 to go in this first quarter. Ooh, get that out of there. Weak side help. The rejection. I believe that was Logan coming out of nowhere. That's a real nice looking shot and a hard take by Calhoun. VJ. 3 doesn't drop. New Force wants to push. New Force somewhat similar in their athleticism, like Fully Feared. They like to get out, little showboating, some high flyers, finishers around the rim, under 4 to play in this first quarter. 9-8. New Force up by 1, and they're pushing it. Cornelius off the mark with the 3. A little bit of a sloppy pace in this first quarter for both teams, but it's 11-9 CNX, 3:02 to go in the first quarter. Reverse underneath, Cornelius drawing the contact, he'll go to the line. 1 of 2. They try to get a little cute with the behind-the-back pass, and then because of that, Cornelius picks up the chief foul. 12-9. CNX up by 3. 2:46 to go in this first quarter, and the clock continues to run. Spin move contact, doesn't drop. So once again, James Cornelius will go to the line. (12-9). CNX, another foul. Count it. They got to get continuation on that one. Split 2 defenders. Contact from both sides. (15-9). $1:31 to go in this first quarter. 2-minute game. Drop off. And they got away with a travel. CNX up by 6. Low scoring first frame. So both teams getting a little cold. Last couple possessions and an easy cherry pick. And that's an easy lay-in for number 3, Veep. 17-9. So we'll get a timeout on the floor with 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. 17-9, CNX over New Force. wanted to go with that extra pass. So it'll be a violation turnover, so it'll go back the other end with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. CNX up by 8, 17-9. So one of the books, 17-9, CNX over New Force. Take a quick time out. We'll come back for the second quarter of action. Third game of a 4-game set, Warriors League Thailand 2026. We'll get first quarter stats in a moment. Bellinger with 5, Calhoun with 7 for CNX. Logan with 4, Stanford with 5 for New Force. So 1 of 2, 2019, 7:20 to go in the second. The 3 has not dropped just yet. New Force trail by 3:22.19. And contact one more time. So CNX is figuring out a way to get to the line. And I believe that'll be Lewis. Step into the charity strike for 2. Nice entry pass. Good look inside. 23-21, 6:20 to go in the second. Trying to get that turnover and that press. Can't convert with the left hand, coming back the other way. New Force up by 2, long 3. Off the back of the iron. CNX. Nice little stagger, stutter step, and then floating right to the rim. 25-21, 4-point lead for CNX. 5.5 to go in the second quarter. And Lee misses the 3. Still no Logan. Clock continues to run. 4:25 to go in the second quarter. 25-21. Stanford looking for the contact, and the foul's not going to get it. So see if New Force can capitalize off the turnover. And they do with a 3. Rattles home. And that's Deal, the 5'8" guard from the US of A. (26-25), 3:13 to go in the second. New Force was thinking about the face guard in the press. Under 2:50 to go in the second quarter. They're up by 2. Jailbreak opportunity, easy lay-in, up by 4 now, 29-25, late in the second. And there's that press and trap one more time. An easy opportunity for the right-handed jam. Starting to see the press, a little more pressure, the trap. Giving CNX some issues right now. They trail by 4, 31-27. Good weak side defensive help. Nice little hesitation with the stagger step. Stanford will go to line for 2 with $1:19 to go. $33-27. Approaching a minute to go in the second quarter. We'll get your halftime stats. Little off bounce acrobatic try on the layup, doesn't fall, and coming back the other end, easy cherry pick for a bucket, largest lead of the afternoon from New Force. They're up 35-27, and a minute to go, and they turn it over. Here's another opportunity, and then the foul. So we mentioned Logan, that was a little banged up a couple moments ago back in the contest. He goes to the line for 2. Opportunity to push this to 10 points. So it's a 10-point lead, largest of the afternoon for New Force, up 37-27. And they continue to press, try to get another turnover. Cnx just gets it across the timeline. Well, there's the turnover just as I speak. So the press really doing a lot of damage, and Cnx is not equipped to handle it right now. They trail 39-27. Final 25 to go in the second quarter before the break. Triple team, and they give it away one last time. Logan draws the contact. It would have been a break. 0 for 2 with the putback. And that's how the first half ends. 39-27, New Force. Up by 12. We'll get your stats at the break. So at the break, 39-27, we'll get your stats on the other side. This is Warriors League, Thailand 2026. At the half, 39-27, New Force over Cnx. They lead it by 12. Halftime stats. Bellinger with 7, Jay with 4, Calhoun with 7, James with 3. 4 of 11 from the line for Cnx, 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. For New Force, they start to pick it up in the second. Smith 4, Lee 2, Logan 10, Stanford 11, 7 of 12 from the line, but just 2 of 16 from beyond the arc. Second half coming up next. Don't forget to keep us logged in to Warriors League Thailand 2026. We have our fourth and final game coming up. The Hunters taking on the Sun Devils. That'll be at 5:30 p.m. We get set for the second half of this one between Cnx Orion and New Force, leading this one by 12, 39-27. Third quarter coming up on the other side. We begin the third quarter. Too strong on that 3. And they're letting them play right off the bat. 39-27. Cnx has an opportunity to slice into this 12-point deficit. Calhoun, the big man lumbering, he'll go to the line. Elijah Calhoun averaging 13 points. He's got 7 and 9 this evening in 17 minutes of action. Quick look inside and an easy bucket. Logan drops it home, and once again, they're going to press, try to get those turnovers. Very successful doing that in the second quarter, and Cnx able to break it. Step back 3. That rattles around and drops. So Lewis with a 3 ball. And the big Frenchman, what else is new? Owning the glass for an easy lay-in. There's that turnover we talked about. A lot of them start to play Cnx, and they give it right back. So sloppy play from New Force. Both teams a little sloppy to start things off in this third quarter. Nice tap. And that's Logan. Stolen away. Stanford glides to the basket with the right hand. Almost stolen again. But just when you think CNX, you start to breathe a little bit, New Force start to ratchet up defensively, up on top, 47-34, 7:48 to go in this third. Reverse layup. Oh, they're going to draw the contact and a little hoop and harm. Excellent job getting to the tin. Bellinger. Good-looking guard out of Broward County, Florida. No college experience, but has stops in the DR, France, Armenia, Mexico. Completes a three-point play. Ooh, that's a late foul. That's a late whistle. I saw the conversion there, and I thought the defender was set. And you see Calhoun kind of stating his case. But they're going to get... They'll get him in the act. New Force goes to the line. Up 10 with a chance to expand on this lead with 7:35 to go in the third. And a good hustle play in the trailer, and all of a sudden, it's an 8-point deficit. A couple bunnies missed. CNX now running. They got a little momentum. .626 to go in this third quarter. Stanford's been somewhat quiet. Gets it back. Pulls the trigger. Shot hasn't fallen from the outside just yet. 47-39. Under 6 to play in this third quarter, and they're trying to press a little more. Try to get Bellinger to cough it up. Over to Calhoun. Two-man game. Likes that matchup. Logan a little frustrated and beside himself with the turnover. So it'll come back the other way. CNX, another opportunity, another possession to chip into this deficit, trailing 47-39, 5:40 to go in the third. Lewis gives it up. They'll swing it one more time, trying to go inside. They got the matchup they want. And they take advantage of it. Sangchenche back to the line. 6'1" tie guard. I missed them both. Coming back the other end off the miss. 3-on-2. They've got numbers. Oh, stolen away by New Force. Now you got a jailbreak 2-on-1. back up to a 10-point cushion, but foul on the floor. Cornelius will go back to the line. Clock continues to wind down. 4:40 to go in the third. A little strong on the second. Tipped around. New Force has it. They also got a 4-on-2. They'll skip it. I think Smith hit the end line. A late whistle as well. 49-40. Under 5 to play in this third quarter. That's a good job by Calhoun. Showed he flashed. They drew the double. Calmly knocks down the 3, and that's a big bucket. 10-point lead. Now dwindled down to 6, and a look inside, and that finds a home. So back up to 8. Under 4 to play in this third quarter. The Cnx is doing a good job of hanging around. That end line, a lot of the players just, you got to know where your feet are at in the gym. There's your trailer. Drop off one more time. Catch and shoot in rhythm. Count it. And the reverse counted on the other end. Acrobatic shot. You got to be kidding me. That's a highlight reel finish. Stanford, 6'5", guard. Contorted his body and was able to play it right off the glass. Gorgeous looking shot. Can't convert from the line. Nice ball fake. Got to be able to finish those underneath the basket, though. 2-on-1 alley-oop. Look out. There it is. Gorgeous feed. Stanford to Smith and the 6'3" high flyer. Stuffs it home. Gets his own rebound off the 3 miss. And that's Cornelius coming back the other end off the glass. So under 2:30 to play, 55-50. Oh my goodness. With a hand in his face. And one thing about New Force, they don't panic. Even when a team's making a run, slicing in a deficit, numbers again, look out. Smith, shake and bake. Doesn't fall. Outlet pass, Cnx trailing by 8. 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Too many missed opportunities, though, from close in. Bellinger gives it up. No one boxed out. And an easy putback, 58-52, $1:35 to go in this third. 6-point lead right now for New Force. Foul line extended. And that's Burnett 6'2" guard from the US of A. Well, defense, I would say, is non-existent at this point, even though it's a 6-point game. Cnx was down 10. They're down 4 right now with 50 seconds to go. Stanford. Euro step, strong move, gets it. Wanted the contact and the foul. Stating his case. Ref says play on. Back up to 6. 35 seconds to go in the third. Nice drop off behind the back. Final 10 seconds of the third quarter. They'll kick it. Long three. That doesn't fall. We'll get a whistle. Nope. That's the whistle to sound the end of the quarter. So 3 in the books, 64-56. Fourth quarter coming up. We'll get your stats as well. This is Warriors League Thailand 2026. Keep it locked in on the YouTube channel. Follow us online, of course, on Instagram and, of course, on YouTube and X and Facebook as well. 3 in the books, 1 quarter to play with. We'll have it on the other side. All right, welcome back, everyone, as we get you set for the fourth quarter. Get you some stats after 3. A little bit of an ebb and flow in this one. First game of the evening, Howard with the upset over Thailand Titans 90-85. Fully feared all over the Stuffed Bisons 120-93. And we get set for the fourth quarter of this one. Cnx looking to pull off the upset. They trail 64-56 into the Black Unis, moving right to left. Rich Quinones on the call. We have one final game coming up afterwards. So Cnx looking for their first win of the tourney. New Force looking to get their second, more importantly, 2 points. Titans already lost earlier today. They fall to 2-1. Fully Feared picks up another 2 points. They are the lone undefeated team in the tournament. Howard got the win over the Titans, so they pick up their first win. If Cnx can win here, we will have no winless teams. We'll have every team at least with 1 win. 67-56, 9.5 to go, early on. So I mentioned Howard got the win tonight over the Titans, 90-85. Logan Willoughby with 21. Jerry Brooks with 17. Hayden Thomas with 17. Pi Dak, 24 in the win. It's a 10-point cushion right now for New Force. Approaching the 9-minute mark. Turnover Cnx. They almost gave it right back. $69-57. Another turnover. And a right-handed stuff by Smith. That press has really given Cnx a lot of issues. And they needed that one. Stop a little bit of the bleeding early on in this fourth. 71-59, 8:32 to go. Smith gives it right back up. 2-man game. 3 ball. Little too tough off the iron. Back tap. Stanford second time. Doesn't fall. No, check that. That's Logan. So while Logan's going to the line, I want to also remind everyone, Fully Fear puts up 120. Late this afternoon, they go on to defeat the Stuffed Bisons 120-93. How about the stat line for some of these players for Fully Feared? Walker with a triple-double, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. Robinson, game high, 38 points, 23 rebounds. And Johnson, 23 points. Hagee, 25 points, 10 rebounds. They're a machine, and they're undefeated at 3-0. So 12-point lead right now, and Cnx finds themselves down double digits. The press is giving them fits. They got to get something cooking offensively. Got to go back to the bread and butter, and that would be number 8, Calhoun. He can't convert, and there's a foul on the floor, and it's going to go the other way. Lewis grabbed the arm. I believe he pulled the arm of Stanford. 7:45 to go, fourth quarter. Smith, count it. Javon Smith. One of the players that can explode for 2025 on any given night. And a little bit of breathing room right now for New Force. They expand the lead 75-69 with 7:12 to go in this fourth. Cnx looking for some answers. Well, those are the looks that you really want to capitalize on if you're Cnx. Oh, rejected. Excellent hustle coming back, the other end of the floor. 6:25 to go. See the swat. Nice save. And then out of nowhere, it comes flying through. Another jailbreak opportunity. So 77-59, but under 6 to go. And getting a little desperate right now for CNX because they haven't been able to really get anything going offensively. And certainly the best way to try to get back into a game is knocking down the free throws. Now it's pretty tough sledding. You're down 20. Under 6 to play. New force trying to put this one away. Clock continues to run. It's a 20-point lead. Under 5 to play. So if CNX is going to generate any type of comeback, muster some points, got to get going right now. And you need a lot of stops. And the tie up, and all they can do is foul. So some fresh bodies coming in, new force. And under 4 to play in this fourth quarter, well on their way to a win, leading big 79-59 up by 20 on CNX. Rich Quinones on the call. Just want to remind everyone we have our 4th game coming up. I will be back on the calls next weekend. Just wanted to always say thank you to the entire Warriors League crew doing unbelievable work tonight and this afternoon into this evening. Phenomenal job. Camera crew, audio, sound crew. They're fantastic. We saw some good play this afternoon, early evening, and we're starting to see teams 2-3 games in, I should say, really starting to separate themselves. Level of competition starting to pick up, the intensity starting to get ratcheted up. I'm not sure if I was going to say you're not going to assess a T. I think that was accidental. 81-59. Thompson could have called him over the back, but we'll get the benefit of the call. Tipped around, and New Force has it. 3:12 to go in this fourth. But as I mentioned, still one more game to go. Also, follow us on social media on Instagram. The league and the marketing team does a fantastic job posting highlights, reels, players of the game, information regarding the league and the tournament going forward. So definitely give them a follow at Warriors Thailand. You can also check out the website on X and the live stream on the YouTube channel, which you guys are watching right now. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and certainly share with your friends. Final 3-12 in this one. New Force on their way to an pulled away in this third quarter and really started to put down the gas in the fourth. Lead ballooned to 23. Sits at Stanford for 3. Doesn't drop. It's had a quiet night. A quiet night by his standards. We'll go to the line. So the Hoops get their first win. They pull off the upset earlier today over the Titans, who suffered their first loss. Fully Feared moves to 3-0 all over the Bisons, and right now New Force cruising to a W. Cnx will be the only winless team thus far, 3 games in the tournament. A little step back, shake and bake, that doesn't fly. Don't forget the Hunters taking the Sun Devils. We are inside Cassette Arts University for the final 2:53 of game number 3 and a timeout on the floor. No, check that. We're going to get some fresh bodies for the final 2:50. I would say not the most impressive performance by New Force, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that CNX, as far as their inability to just muster consistent offense. They had their opportunities. They hung in there. They had a little bit of a lead too early, and then New Force just applied the pressure. I think teams will also look at, applying that half-court pressure and that trap. And it definitely disrupted Cnx. Ooh, a little razzle-dazzle behind the back. And an easy foul for the lay-in. So it's 84-61, stolen away, and then a hoop and harm, and why not? A little window dressing and the icing on the cake. That's Burnett. And that'll pretty much put a bow on this one. You see CNX going back to the bench. They're trailing 86-61 with a $1:46 to go in the fourth. Three-point play is complete. So approaching the final minute in this one, New Force well on their way to a win. And please stay with us. Our final game, the Hunters versus Sun Devils. That will be a 5:30 p.m. tip-off. So in about 15 or so minutes, as we're sitting at a 30-point cushion right now for a New Force. I'll be back on the calls next weekend, but I encourage everyone to stay with us on the YouTube channel. Please follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Also follow us on Instagram and X and Facebook for all the updates, players of the game, and of course any roster movement, any scheduling movement during the 10th annual Warriors League Thailand 2026. Final 20 in this one. So the final, New Force all over CNX 9365. I want to thank everyone for keeping us tuned in, listening to this afternoon's telecast and broadcast. We still have our fourth and final game. I'm going to sign off on this Sunday. I'll be back in the saddle with you next weekend as Warriors League Thailand 2026 continues. For our entire crew this evening, I'm Rich Quinones. Hope you enjoyed this afternoon's and early evening's telecast and broadcast. And as always, I'll talk to you next time, courtside.